Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, our season opener for girls lacrosse coverage here in the spring as the Mountain Ridge Sentinels prepare to host the Pleasant Grove Vikings. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Pleased to be joined shortly by Kenzie Christensen. But want to step aside and let you hear our national anthem being performed by a local up-and-coming actor and artist. Lincoln Bailey will sing our national anthem here from Mountain Ridge High School.
I'ma let you shop until your bills score. I'ma ball a credit card, make them give me 8 floors. Hey, it's game time and I'm in front. Nah, me and your ex can't have the same score. Tryna hit the end zone for the friend zone. And maybe bring friends to the end zone. Hey, it's up to you when it's up to you. Get you hot and cool down, I got the damn flu. We gon' make it rain, rain, rain. Maybe won a championship. We gon' need some more champagne. If we can get it all the way, it's about to go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mountain Ridge High School for tonight's athletic contest. We welcome our guests from Pleasant Grove and wish all players good luck in tonight's game. Both schools are members of the Utah High School Activities Association and support the new statewide sportsmanship program, Raise the Bar. Sportsmanship does matter, and we ask for your support in demonstrating respect for the game and all the participants by refraining from negative cheers, chants, or behavior. Do rowdy right. We do have some flag bearers today. We'd like to introduce you to Quincy Zarbach. Are they down there ready to go? Quincy is 8 years old, has been playing lacrosse for 2 years. She loves playing defense and getting the ball to her teammates. Quincy is very encouraging, hardworking, kind, and loves to see others succeed. Sydney Haight is playing her second year of lacrosse. She loves the opportunity to get her energy out, playing on a team, and scoring goals. She is an amazing teammate and always positive. Afton Bassett is also playing in her second season of lacrosse, and she couldn't be more excited to get back out on the field with her team. She learned to love lacrosse while watching her uncle Emmett play. Tatum Joyce. This is Tatum's first season of girls lacrosse, as she has been playing boys lacrosse with her twin brother for the last 2 seasons. Tatum may lead the team in penalties this year. And we will have a national anthem. So if everyone would please rise. The national anthem will be sung by Gabe Hamilton. Like what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back. We are ready to get our first girls lacrosse game of the year underway.
Woo-hoo!
Dane Stewart, Kenzie Christiansen with you. Kenzie, defending 6A state champs, Mountain Ridge, graduated so much talent off of that team from last year. They returned talent as well. It's not like they're starting from afresh, but there's a lot of new names, new faces, new positions for the Sentinels.
Yeah, I actually had the privilege to be able to talk with Angie, the head coach here at Mountain Ridge, a little bit about their talent, that they were able to spread it out a little more with their incoming freshmen and some of their incoming seniors, that they're much more of a level-filled team this year, she feels, and that they have, another strong fighting chance for making it all the way.
Well, make no mistakes about it. This Mountain Ridge team, they have a very difficult non-region schedule. They already played Park City. That was the first game of the year. They lost that game. They're taking on PG. Next up, they'll take on Olympus. They'll play both Park City and Olympus twice in their non-region.
That'll be fun.
It is going to be a gauntlet of a non-region schedule. Meanwhile, Pleasant Grove, they come in losing their opener as well. They fell to Harriman 18-8. And this is another team that had to replace a lot of girls off of last year's team. Madeline Floyd will get the start in the cage for the Vikings. Had a 45% save percentage in that opening loss. And it's Tristy Souza between the pipes for the Sentinels, as off the draw, controlled by Mountain Ridge. Here comes Kiara Claren, looking right in front. That pass a little off. It is, it's windy and it's rainy. Conditions not favorable for outdoor lacrosse, but we're playing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we play through everything but lightning.
That's right.
Looked like Aubrey Shaw had a little bit of that tip-off on that clear, but was back to gathering by Pleasant Grove.
This is Kiara Kirby bringing it ahead for PG. There's the whistle there, and we'll get a restart here for the Vikings. That pass just a little off the mark as Gwyneth Elcock couldn't capture, but nice help there by her defensive teammate. How hard is it, Kenzie, to play in elements like we've had here this afternoon?
The rain is not fun at all, especially depending on how your stick is strung. The strings definitely loosen up, the ball's slick, and it's just a little more challenging to be able to obtain that control.
The Vikings here trying to settle in the offense. This is Berg.
It also brings in the challenge of course, the footwork and just running on turf. It's super slick. Nice pass to the center.
Oh, that one just jarred out. You're right. It was Vianney Cami Carlos, a senior that was right in front of the crease there, but couldn't get a shot away, and Mountain Ridge now with the clear.
Something new with this year, as you saw, there was no whistle out coming on the defending side. It is now self-start coming out unless we're in the last 2 minutes with a 10-point out a 10-point differential.
Quick counter here by the Sentinels, now peeling off, looking to set up the offense here. That ball just popped out of the cross there, and the whistle here, it'll be Viking possession.
It looks like a push was on call, so, yep, she'll have to go 4 away, and it will be a self-start.
Want to remind you, the clock you see on your screen, the unofficial clock. We do our best to keep that synchronized with the official clock here in the stadium on the scoreboard. Mountain Ridge, they got that edge right in front, turning around and just missed the cage. A good look there for Aubrey Shaw. PG now looking for the clear. Berg with it.
Nice triple team. She breaks through. That's awesome.
Yeah, nice work there by Eliza. Had 3 goals in that season opening loss to Harriman. Was their leading goal scorer. Eliza still with it. Nice turn inside, but boy, that slipped out. And do you expect, Kenzie, that ball will be a little tougher to keep inside of the cross?
Most definitely. On that cradle, if your mesh is wet, if you have a mesh liner, or any bit of your strings are going to be wet with that wet ball, it's just going to go topsy-turvy inside that head.
Mountain Ridge has numbers. Sentinels on the run. Nice move to the side. The shot, the goal.
Nice corner shot right above the goalie's left shoulder. That was beautiful. Nice wind-up and beautiful release.
Taya Chalk, the sophomore, able to score it for Mountain Ridge. And the Sentinels are the first to strike.
I think that just proves from my conversation previous with Angie is that, the playing field is leveling out with Mountain Ridge. That, that was a sophomore where previous seasons, the seniors took so much charge in their play, losing their amazing goalie this last season, plus with their top shooters. It gives these girls opportunity to really bloom into their positions.
Boy, but not afraid, despite having new names, new faces, to still push tempo, huh? They got up quickly there. Able to take advantage of having numbers. The draw gathered here by Mortensen for Mountain Ridge. Worked back with Chalk. Taya tossing that here to her teammate Kylie Taylor. There's a lot of youth on this Mountain Ridge roster. certainly have some senior experience as well, but good balance. Little burst here from Well.
Nice bouncer
and
shot.
the goal.
That was a beautiful bouncer shot. As she creeped into the 8, she was able to get her arms up and free, released it low, and got a beautiful bouncer between that goalie's feet.
Amelia Wall. I said Amalia. I can't believe I did that.
It's Analia.
Oh.
Oh,
I thought it was
I'm sorry.
Amelia.
You're right.
All
I
right.
apologize. I was looking at Anderson. I apologize.
You're good. I was like, I thought I made an error. And I did. Amelia Wall.
Amelia
Nice
Wall, there we
goal.
go.
Good 2-0 start here for Mountain Ridge. And Annalise Anderson, the senior, she's been stout on the faceoffs here early. On the draws, my
Nice.
apology.
That was a nice toss over to Tessa.
And of course, missing Emery Clark. Had the injury in the offseason. Has still been with the team.
Yep.
But she's doing well on her road to recovery. Straight away.
Nice roll. Good slide.
Yeah, nice help there defensively by PG. Boy, it feels like they need to make a stop or two, get some confidence on the defensive side.
Yeah, they're playing super heels to the 8, and, that could be a good and bad thing. You are closer to your teammates for those slides, but at the same time, you can leave yourself to get a shooting space if you stay on the 8 and they enter that 12.
Patience coming around the cage here. Chalk still with it. She'll back it out.
That was a smart decision on her. She had almost 3 defenders in front of her. She would rather play it smart than, nice pop pass, than, take those hard challenges.
Feeding right in front. Nice pass.
Nice.
And a goal.
Beautiful draw and dump. She pulled that double team. I believe that was Shaw.
Yep.
Yeah, Shaw was able to creep by the backside of that defender and make that beautiful top shelf goal.
Yeah, Aubrey Shaw, and that all starts. You get miscommunication on the defensive side. Aubrey Shaw has that angle. They feed it to her right in front. A nice finish there for the senior attacker. What a start, Kenzie.
No, this has been
Ridge.
super fun seeing the talent spread out all over the field. It's, very talented teams, hard work on the defensive end. It looks like the defense on PG just gathered together, rebutted, and, going to come out stronger each time no matter what the outcome is. Nice, another takeaway by Tess.
Another draw here to Mountain Ridge.
Annalise has had beautiful draw control,
Yeah.
passing it right over to, her forward shoulder to Tessa.
Back up here with Claren. Sends that over to Kimber Hanks, the sophomore.
They've had a little bit of pass around, some cuts, just haven't been able to get that nice roll in the inside.
Oh, and that one saved away. Nice save there by Floyd. Just a sophomore in the cage here for PG. Hanks. Gathered here by the sophomore Brielle Fabert.
Oh, they're planning something.
Being very intentional here, very deliberate. Mortensen working
Tuck
inside.
dodge. Smart pulled it out with 3 defense on her and got a shooting space.
That's one of those where there's just not a lot of room, and you mentioned it, Kenzie. Good decision there.
That was an excellent decision. She had 3 girls on her. If she shot over, she had, the possibility of getting nice.
With her first goal of the game. My apologies. 4 different scorers here for Mountain Ridge. This one from Tessa Mortensen.
Yeah, that was a beautiful underhand, just grease against this wet turf. Beautiful job done her. But pulling out with those 3 defenders probably was the smartest decision she could have made because the defense did not follow her out. She was able to do a pump fake as if she was about to shoot, pulled that shooting space, and got that amazing shot that we just saw here a second ago.
We talked about The opener for Pleasant Grove fell to Harriman 18-8. It was an 11-3 first half. They fell down early, had a much improved second half, just not enough to come back in that game. They've fallen down here early again. If you're Pleasant Grove, what do you try to do? Because, I mean, another draw going the way of Mountain Ridge. They just don't have a lot of possession right now, Kenzie.
I think it's just about trying to switch up that draw. You know, a lot of their possessions always came from the draw here with Mountain Ridge. Taking it down to the attacking side, playing it smart with definitely different lacrosse IQs and tactics. That you got to switch it up on the draw. Where it starts is where you gotta change it up.
And a whistle there will give the possession here to the Vikings. Let's see if they can go down and take advantage here.
Once again, this will be a self-start as they come out of the 8th. That is a new rule as of this season.
Boy, and look at that pressure coming up from behind there was Tessa.
Nice turnover.
Yeah, it helps to win it back.
That's super smart of her to pull it out on that elbow. You know, PG had the numbers in front of her. She waited for her teammates to regather down at the attacking end.
And I apologize. It was Aubrey Shaw there with the pressure from Mountain Ridge helping to win that back. Tessa came away with it right in front of that goal scored. That is the second of the game for Tessa Mortensen, and it's 5-0.
That was super smart on Tess. She was able to catch the backside of her defender. You know, it looked like kind of like a little bit of a backpedal into that center half. Or center of the 8, being able to turn and just get a beautiful release down on the bottom shelf.
That has worked in a couple different ways for Mountain Ridge in this first half, right? You get almost a screen coming up, defense doubles teams, you roll off it, you're open on a lane to the cage.
Yeah, they're super in sync with one another. They're seeing that, you know, defense is baiting over to the ball, helping with an early slide, and that second player, those adjacent players have been sneaking in and being able to get those beautiful shots off.
Coach Brusha here for Mountain Ridge, state champion. And talked about that opener against Park City. It was a tough opener for the Sentinels, a game where they felt similar pain as what PG has felt. They fell down 7-1 in that first half. They were going into the win, thought they'd get the benefit of Mother Nature in the second half, and Mother Nature kind of turned the table on them. They had to go into the wind that entire game as the wind shifted direction and fell decisively to the Miners, hoping that they'll get revenge in a second matchup later on this year. But, boy, this is looking like the Mountain Ridge team that I think many expected to see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us have very high expectations. They had a beautiful team last year, and I think it's just going to come stronger and stronger with the years to come.
Shaw with it. She'll pitch that back here with Mortensen.
Oh, Shaw had a beautiful cut on the inside, but she was able to get a pass off to her left side.
Here's Kiara trying to work around Berg. There's that triple team by that PG defense. Over with Well. They'll work back. Chalk had the opening goal coming around. Is that a shooting space again?
Yes, so that was a shooting space. She went to do the crease roll. She would look for the shot. But as she was looking for the shot, she took a couple steps back, 1 or 2 steps back, able to create that gap between her and the defender, giving her the opportunity of that second inside 8-meter shot.
Ted Chalk stepping up, and that was just wide. Couldn't tell if Floyd got a piece of that or not. It is backed up here by the Sentinels.
Looks like this might be another crease roll.
Yeah. Set up space. That shot saved.
Beautiful save.
On point there with Madeline Floyd.
Oh, nice tip off. Okay. You know, something that you don't see very often is, you know, some of those goalies getting guarded up on because guarding up on the goalie does leave an open field player for that pass. But, you know, Shaw's height has been to her advantage for sure. She's gotten a few, you know, misdirections on those clears, which have benefited them.
That was lost out. Mountain Ridge finding themselves with the possession yet again. Boy, it feels like it's been 8 minutes since PG's had it down on the offensive end. They've been playing defense here for the better part of this start of this match here today.
Yeah, and well, every time that the ball's down on Sentinel's attacking side, defense is holding them off longer and longer and stronger. So they're definitely learning as time goes on.
Kara had that knocked loose ground ball. PG trying to get there. Still on the turf, being kind of scooped ahead. And the Vikings finally able to win the ground ball, coming ahead. And now they will be able to bring it into the offensive zone and set up this offense for the Vikings. Ooh, that nearly picked off. Gathered here by Taylor Soltz.
Oh,
no, could
bounced
not
out of
gather.
bound.
Yeah.
So it bounced out of bound from a pass, or the contact with PG, but unfortunately Mountain Ridge knocked it out, which gave the possession back to PG.
Drew with it here for Pleasant Grove. This is Shaley.
Something I'm loving right now on their defense is they're playing high pressure. Like, no matter where that ball is, they're pressuring out and making sure that there is a body on ball at all times. Looks like we're almost seeing like a zone defense coming from Mountain Ridge, which is not as common to see, but working to their advantage right now.
I had someone tell me on the boys' side it's kind of viewed as not a cheap defense, but maybe a lazier defense. But for me, I'm like, hey, if it works, right? Like, why not?
I think it's just a different tactic. There's so many different, ways of seeing it. Depends on the team you play, how spread out, the shooters are, where the shots come from. It just really depends on who you're playing against, to what kind of defense you're going to put against them, a man defense or a zone.
And as someone who played basketball, I loved zone because I didn't have to run as much, and I had more energy on the offensive end, right?
Same. Nice.
All space right in front, and that shut down. Beautiful job by Floyd there. Able to get that down and keep that out of the goal. Berg trying to hold that on that far line. Couldn't corral it. Mountain Ridge back on it. Chalk with the spin move. Well, now back this out. Boy, smart lacrosse from Mountain Ridge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some high lacrosse IQs out there. Playing smarter, not harder. They're knowing they have a long time to go. We're not even at the half yet. We still got like about 12 minutes to half. They're saving their legs, playing smart, keeping possession, getting as many touches on balls as possible. I've been loving these pop passes. It's been very talented. Very beautiful.
Claren, that double team coming over, helped taking away that middle. Tosses that with Hanks. Kimber back here with Kiara.
Oh, nice.
Claren
Feeling that pressure and rolling off of it.
Found that lane just wide.
That was smart on that attacker. She pushed into her defense, being able to feel that pressure on that left hip and took it onto her right side for that roll. Beautiful idea. Unfortunately, just not the perfect finish she was hoping for.
The wind may have calmed down here quite a bit from where it was in the JV game. We had umbrellas acting like tumbleweeds. It was a sight to see. It is still certainly raining. It's a heavy, heavy rain out on the field. Here's Claren looking right in front.
Nice.
Found a way through, but that denied again by Floyd. And it feels like Madeline's starting to settle in here, Kenzie.
Yeah, no, she's doing beautifully. She's tracking that ball amazingly. And, she's just very lucky with that last save with it so close to crease. Those ones are always the hardest.
We've got a whistle here. Possession going to go back to Mountain Ridge. I missed that signal. Did you see it?
I couldn't see the signal either.
I think they were trying to peel the defense off, and Mountain Ridge stepped up, and now they're having to back. And we'll start it.
Yeah.
Sentinels back with the possession. Boy, it felt like Mortensen really wanted to step into one. Still holding here. And Chalk just couldn't quite corral that pass as it's finding its way into the crease for Floyd.
Nice.
That deflected, but we had a whistle
violation.
there. Yeah.
That was a smart idea, right? That's exactly what she's been aiming for as she's been guarding that goalie, being able to intercept it like she just did. Unfortunately, she just crossed that line. Just gave the ball back.
Nice check there by Claren, able to get it back. Oh, maybe. Ball still on the ground, kicked ahead. Mountain Ridge trying to hold it, but bodies there allow Pleasant Grove to come away with it. Here comes PG.
Something that I've noticed the last couple times with PG is that they take it to the elbow. A lot of teams take it back to the X, but taking it to the elbow just gives a different perspective of the team and the game, and the ability to tuck dodge there.
Yeah, everything kind of spread out there and allowed for that lane to be attacked, and we'll have an opportunity here for the Vikings. First real opportunity for the game here for Eliza Berg. Stepping up, shot saved. Tristy Souza there for Mountain Ridge. Boy, good opportunity. That pass lost out. It'll go back to the Vikings.
A nice run up by Shaw.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this Mountain Ridge team, they're quick.
Nice check.
Yeah, that was Chalk, the sophomore, able to put pressure on and win that back. Mountain Ridge on the run. Here comes Claren. Waiting for reinforcements. Has help. Taya.
They're just taking their time, like we've talked about before. Playing smarter and harder. Just wait for their perfect opportunity. And that they're
right in front once again, and it's denied again by Floyd. Boy, that's another job, Kenzie. We're coming off that screen. You're one-on-one, and Madeline Floyd continues to make play after play to keep PG in this game.
Yeah, no, she's doing a beautiful job. She's, tracking that ball well with her body and her stick. She's not taking many of those fakes, and is just locking down that ball.
This one gathered by the Vikings. This is Bashan on it for Pleasant Grove. Working with Plant. Tried to send that up ahead. Was too tall for her teammate to gather, and Mountain Ridge able to come away with it. Played up. Here's Claren on the run. Looking for that lane right in front. Kiara, the shot on the goal.
That was back of the corner of the net. That was beautiful.
Goal by number 14, Kiki Claren.
That just showed a lot of, wrist strength and talent with how she was able to dodge around those defense, find those open gaps, and release that ball to the back of the net. It was beautifully done, and hope to see a lot more of that from her.
That's the first goal of the game for Kiki Claren. How about this? 6 goals for Mountain Ridge, 5 different goal scorers. The offense has been extremely balanced today for Coach Brusha.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful game. I love that, they're so, like we said before, well spread out, giving the opportunity to each other, not being selfish players. There's been a lot of possession by all the players, and, I don't think I've seen one player being the star yet, but it's the whole team.
Procedure there will give it to the Vikings. I don't think Mountain Ridge had people in the right spots.
Hold. Ball's going to PG. 4 away with a self-start. Good backup.
Yeah, PG with it. This is Jex.
Once again, find their way over to that left elbow.
Back up top, and we've got a whistle here. I don't know what that was, Kenzie.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't either.
All right. PG will start with it. Had an opportunity in front. That ball finding its way through. PG still on it here with, that was Curtis that had it. Gathered here by Garces from behind the goal. That one knocked
nice
loose.
Check.
Boy, Mountain Ridge always looking for opportunities to win that possession back.
Yeah, they trace those cradles very well, making sure that ball drops below or outside the sphere of the attacking player, and just getting that snap away, which is beautiful. That was a beautiful catch.
Here come the Sentinels. Boy, it's so hard because their players are always crisscrossing and finding new lanes and new spaces. Hard to keep track of where those Sentinels are going.
Keeping that defense busy, head on a swivel. You know, I can hear them from here. They're loud and communicative, so as long as they keep that going, they're going to keep stronger and stronger each time.
Here's Well. Looking in front. Farnsworth right in front. And that taken away by, we've got a crease violation here.
Yep, shooter will be going behind the goal, and the goalie will have possession of the ball. Whistle start.
And
another
again,
crease violation. Yeah. I think, just by my perspective, I think it's her stick that's going over, influencing the ability to clear. And that's what keeps getting called.
We're playing silver lines, which are not the most pronounced lines on the field. Probably doesn't help with some of those crease violations. But in fairness, it's also their home field. So,
true, very true.
This gathered here by Farnsworth.
Nice defense by PG, picked up.
Here come the Vikings on a bit of a run. 1-on-4, able to work through some. Farnsworth back to the middle.
Nice check.
Yeah, had it knocked loose once again.
That just shows drive, though. That was 4 defenders on her. You know, she went one-handed cradles, switching hands back and forth, trying to find that lane to give the opportunity for a shot. The odds were against her, but she still was beautifully done.
Here comes Guyman. Able to maintain that here. Oh, found Mortensen open in the middle. Tessa able to regather that.
Some fields may differ, but the restraining lines here are the 30. There is tiny cones down there if they are able to see, but restraining line is 30, so that back referee is watching for any offsides.
We've got stoppage here. Mountain Ridge will start here.
They're just going back on the dot, having to clear the lane.
Attacking right in front. Took that spin away. Pass found its way to Chalk through 3 Pleasant Grove defenders. Taya now with some space. Looking in front. That one couldn't be handled. Gathered there by Shaw. Shaw in front. And no, another crease violation. Yeah?
You know, I saw her hand up for 3 seconds, I thought.
Yeah, never mind.
I'm not sure.
It might be a shooting space, maybe?
You know, like you said, these lines are gray, and I'm just not quite sure on that one.
We've hit 2 minutes left to go. Shaw couldn't get that shot to go. And out of the back. And it will be Pleasant. No, Mountain Ridge. Yep. Gathered here by Guyman. Chalk.
You know, the check was across the body, but it was sharp. It was watched. It was calculated. It was a well-done check, despite the across the body.
Taya sends that over. Mortensen. We'll toss that back.
I think something that Mountain Ridge is very much so capitalizing on is those, those pop passes, which is very smart because it's, except for that moment, more likely to be caught with the wet rain.
Welcome to the life of a broadcaster's curse, Kenzie.
Yeah.
Right in front, and Floyd able to take it away. It was a good look. Christensen was able to get that right in front of the net, I think maybe with Stewart. It could have been with Farnsworth. Couldn't tell the number there. Still on it. Shaw able to go right under the crossbar, and it's a Mountain Ridge goal.
Assist by number 17, Walter Mortensen.
And did they actually call? Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
They gave Mortensen the assist, and they listed her first. I was a little confused there. It is Shaw, her second goal of the game.
That was a long sailing past the Shaw. She was able to turn around, have a little bit of finesse, and like you said, put it right under that crossbar.
7-0 the advantage here for Mountain Ridge. Boy, PG is, they kind of hung in there with the pressure that Mountain Ridge was putting on offensively early, and a late goal there. We'll see which side that helps as the draw won by the Sentinels.
PG's learning and growing on each draw.
Yes.
Those attackers rushed fast to get to the center to try and get some defense on that midfield.
Final 20 seconds here of the first half, PG. And that pass, the stick on stick there, will allow the Vikings to potentially get this up and drain out this first half. Final seconds drawing to a close. What a start for Mountain Ridge at home. 7-0. They lead Pleasant Grove. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented to you by Heidemann and Associates, only on KSLSports.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
And welcome back. Getting ready to start the second half. Dane Stewart, Kinsey Christiansen with you. 7-0 Mountain Ridge leading at the half over Pleasant Grove. A lot of different scores for the Sentinels in this one. As you had Shaw and Mortensen with 2 apiece. Kiki Claren, Amelia Well, and Taya Chalk, the other goal scorers for the Sentinels. Pleasant Grove really hasn't been able to have a lot of opportunities. The best opportunity they had was Eliza Berg, as she had a shot from 8 and couldn't beat the senior goalie Souza, who's been perfect today. Madeline Floyd, the sophomore goalie for PG, has been really stout. I know has allowed 7, but boy, Kenzie, she's made, what,
Amazing
7 or 8
saves.
saves?
Amazing
Some real close.
Like, she's been one of my favorite goalies to watch this season this far. She's been really great.
Look at that. Early praise. And again, just
Good
a
job.
sophomore. She's got years ahead of her.
Yeah, no, she's doing great out there.
Mountain Ridge coming back with it. Boy, it felt like if PG they get that possession, try to get in an offensive rhythm as a ground ball here, retreating back. Bashan able to gather it here for the Vikings. Good support there. Here comes Lloyd. Working through traffic, trying to hand that out to the wing. Curtis trying to track that down, jarred loose.
Looks like Lily came up with the ground ball.
Yes, she did. The senior defender there for the Sentinels. And
Beautiful
now Mountain Ridge
transition.
working it up. Boy,
Nice.
Look at how they
Zigzagging
work through traffic.
transition.
Great spacing. Here's
Oh,
Amelia right in front. A look and a save. Taken away by Floyd.
You know, that was such a beautiful transition, but that save was just amazing. You know, that's a lot of pressure as a goalie sees
Yeah.
that ball soaring down the field. You're like, oh no, it's almost a one-on-one, and beautiful save.
Yeah, you have one of the top goal scorers for Mountain Ridge right there, and especially after dissecting the middle like they did, able to come up with another stop. Here's Anderson back on it for the Sentinels. Nope, my apologies. We were just having that conversation at halftime about how sometimes you lose the ball. There you go. It happens.
You know, it's only 3 inches big. It's hard to see when you're several feet above.
Here comes Mountain Ridge. Patience here from Amelia. Sending that up with Claren, now Chalk.
Oh, they're pulling a play. Let's see what's about to happen.
Taya.
I think this play is called Swirly, unless that's someone's nickname.
Chalk. Boy, I was curious if she was going to roll around that.
Yeah, I thought she was going to do like a question mark or
Yeah.
something. But, you know, like they've done this whole time, play smarter, not harder. And that was a smart decision. Wait for that open opportunity, like just what they saw there.
Boy, that nice run there by Kylie Taylor. The junior had a seam right in front of the cage, but couldn't get enough possession to get a shot away. But Mountain Ridge able to win it back.
Nice, you know, crashing.
Shaw forced out here.
Across the body.
Yeah. Felt like she was riding that for a while. Finally called there. Aubrey. Mountain Ridge very precise with their passing.
Yeah, that's something I've like really admired about them so far is that, you know, all these 8-meter passes to the inside, they're working through all this defense, getting precise passes to one another, just very connected.
Kiki looking right in front, trying right for the post there. Chalk just sent it wide, but backed up here by the Sentinels. Chalk here.
Good slides on defense.
Boy, and look at how much that PG defense is up, almost playing in a straight line.
Yeah, they're creating a wall for sure. No Sentinels behind goal.
Here's Mortensen. Tessa trying to use her speed. Was looking in
for a
front.
shooting space, and she got it.
Yeah, that little hesitation there. Once again, will set her up on the angle here. Hard to see those hash marks.
I think we're on the first inside.
Okay.
Might be second.
Tessa.
Yes, Tessa Mortensen.
Coming in, working across, and Floyd, boy, she had lost it, but there was a crease violation anyway. It wouldn't have mattered, but Floyd was able to make the stop regardless.
Yeah. So the crease violation, they're going back to the dot, which players only have to be 4 away.
So who's that
lane?
Who was that a violation on?
That was defense. Defense went through the goalie crease.
Okay. Claren.
Nice pressure on taking it.
Good handoff there defensively. Amelia. Quick step, lost it. And PG able to gather. Schultz. Still on a run here, sensing that pressure. Back to the middle. 4 Mountain Ridge defenders around her. Able to keep on and going.
Keeping strong. Yeah, keeping on.
We're just running end to end here with Schultz.
She's letting no one stop her. No one, nothing.
You got to check and see if there's glue in that thing.
Yeah.
All the checks here from Mountain Ridge have not been able to peel that away from Sydney Schultz. She'll start with it. Again, coming from that backside. Nice protection there by Sydney. Oh, that wind picking up. You can hear it.
Yeah, no thank you. That is really cold.
This is when we're grateful to be inside the box. I want to thank Mountain Ridge. They've been great hosts. Got us all set up here. Keeping us protected from the elements. Sent wide. Berg.
They're keeping smart. Nice interception.
Yeah, that's Anderson. Amelia working this up. On the turf, trying to be swept ahead, but still on the turf. Anderson tried to play that back.
They just keep redirecting it, trying to get that open space, being able to, gather that ground ball.
I thought PG had it, but instead it's Faber coming away with it there for Mountain Ridge. It was one of the elements. I was talking to a coach, trainer on the boys' side, and he's like, man, just sweep that into space, right, and allow yourself the opportunity on the second opportunity to go gather. We saw a couple of practices of that there.
Redirect it to that open space.
Yep. Here's Shaw now with it for Mountain Ridge.
You do have to be careful when you do sweep it away, though. You can get, in some cases, a cover. So you just always want to be careful and tactical on that.
Shaw still with it. Claren with it.
Nice
quick burst here by Amelia.
I think just a little lack of communication between the teammates. I don't think she was expecting that pass. Nice get ahead.
Tessa coming around. Kept out by Floyd.
She's stellar.
My goodness.
She's doing great.
She's doing this against one of the defending state champion. A lot of experience in this offense. That was one of the elements you talked about, Kenzie, at half, was use that cage a little bit to help give you a little bit more space on those clears.
Yeah. I mean, they must have obviously talked about it. She keeps getting guarded up on most of the time by Aubrey Shaw, and getting onto that backside of cage, being able to open up your arms, look at a different perspective, and just guard yourself with the cage gives you that, clear that she was able to get off.
Here comes Lund for Pleasant Grove.
She's pretty fast.
Yeah. Sealed away there by Messina. Trying to work here from X. Wanted right in front, but Anderson there, that reach. Able to push that to the side, and Annalise coming away with it here for Mountain Ridge. Playing back with Tristy Souza, whose season save percentage is going up here tonight. Ground ball. Finally captured there by Mountain Ridge. Here's Hanks. Kind of push that over as Mountain Ridge now looking to get set up. Here's Mortensen. And now worked over with Well. Amelia. Boy, the way this game started, it was like 5 goals in the first 4 minutes. PG defense certainly settling in.
I think they're, catching up on, those adjacents sliding in. Sometimes they're backpedaling or doing a cut in, and I think PG's starting to learn and capitalize on that.
Oh, nice roll, and there's a goal.
Nice bounce shot.
Good look there for Mountain Ridge.
Goal by number 21, Lily Weller.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot.
Well done there by Well. Her second of the game. How about the bounce shot? Feel like Floyd's tracking that well. Use the turf.
Yeah, protecting
job.
with the stick. Beautifully done. Seeing the back of the cage, looking past that goalie as you are literally face to face with her. You got to look past her and look to that end goal for the goal.
So now Well with a pair of goals. Shaw, Mortensen, and Well with 2 apiece. Back to the spot here for the draw.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Good box out, stepping in front.
Schultz
Beautiful.
thought she had that. Thought it was coming right to her.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, great job there by Mortensen. Anderson.
Nice.
Quick look there for Mortensen. And a goal for Annalise. Her first of the game. And it's 9-0. That was quick, huh?
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. She had that few steps on her defender, able to, capture that pass, turn, and just rip it off. And, even from up here, we saw that net move. So, it had power and passion behind it. Great job for her.
Head back to the draw. That was kind of how those opening minutes went. It was kind of goal, win on the draw, goal, win on the draw, goal. It was just boom, boom, boom. And much like we saw there over that last 30 or so seconds. Anderson, another win on the draw. Played back behind here with Taylor. That pass.
Good for her.
Yeah, one of the rare mishandles. May have taken away a scoring opportunity, but the Sentinels still on it here.
She had her head up. She was looking for that, second pass. She saw she had 2 defenders for her, seeing if she had any cutters or, people coming in to be able to get that pass through. Just like that.
Yeah, they find Anderson, but that one got just a touch out in front of Annalise, and then she finds it back on the ground, able to repossess here for Mountain Ridge. This one played wide, and it will roll out. It'll go back with the Vikings.
We really got to capitalize on this time, get spread out, which they are. Hopefully as she enters the field, she looks for those open players.
Here comes Schultz. She's gone end-to-end a couple times tonight here for PG. Now with a little bit of space. In amongst a trio of Sentinels. Still on it here. PG spread out here. Berg.
Oh, a little lacking communication almost looked like there between defense. Almost had a cutter on the backside of defenders.
Berg still on it here. Yeah, Drew was open there just for a moment. And then that one jarred loose, but...
In the sphere, going to have an 8-meter opportunity.
So this will be Eliza Berg. She had one of these in the first half, could not capitalize. Can she do so here in the second half? Eliza, the run in, the shot, and that was wide. Backed up here by PG.
I mean, I think it's super hard for all players, like we said before, with their, depending on how their sticks are strung, that release is going to be very different from a dry stick versus, you know, a wet ball and wet string. So for these girls to be missing the goal as they are, not too surprising.
Support here from Souls. Just gathered by Drew. Working around that edge. Back to X, hands to Berg.
Just got a double team on her. Keeps her head up and live. Maybe seems an open opportunity.
Boy, Mountain Ridge is keying on her today. They're not giving her any lanes. Looking in front.
Nice crash.
Yeah, you may have had a quick shot there, but man, second guess, and it just collapses down on you.
I mean, that defense is being very smart. You know, there's some tricky things that could happen there. They could have got shooting space. They could have got 3 seconds, but they're so fast and so tactical that they were able to, you know, not get any of that.
Well, I feel like the team play of that defense, they're very good on handoffs, double teams, triple teams. The help is always there. They haven't missed seemingly any defensive assignment today, Kenzie.
I think that is where they're capitalizing on doing that zone defense and just having that opportunity where they are having that one girl on ball, always pulling out past the 12, marking back up into their spots on zone, which has been, you know, very well done by them.
I mean, even there, Berg, right, she has to back that out because there's just nowhere for her to go.
Exactly.
Eliza will pitch that over with Curtis. Out here with Drew. Back to X, still on it here.
She's making them laps.
Yeah. And the hard thing is with their length, it's like even if you send a runner in front of the cage, you can't give them the ball.
Exactly.
Nice move by Berg. Found a little bit of space, and it's saved. And that's been the problem, right? Even when they have had looks, and there haven't been a ton, Sousa's been there to stop them.
Yeah, she did a great job on that save, tracking the ball. And, you know, PG was able to find an open lane, but she was able to shut it down real fast.
And here come the Sentinels. Amelia looking in front. Instead here, Shaw will work back behind. Tried to get that over. And we've got a whistle here to be Pleasant Grove possession. Was trying to get it there to Chalk.
Telling her to bring it on the field. Not sure quite where to. Okay, the second whistle is telling the defense to move away. Nice clear.
Yeah, that just over the outstretched reach there of the Sentinels. PG on the run. Schultz again, end to end. She's been the best ball handler through the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
PG today.
A saying that I've always, you know, tried to influence is, if sticks are high, you go by. If sticks are low, they can't go. And that's exactly what the Sentinels are doing. They're keeping on the girls' bodies, not allowing them to have the opportunity to not have contact. Every time they close in, their sticks are in the perfect positioning to be able to make contact. They're doing a great job about capitalizing on those moments and, you know, being able to take control on the defensive end.
I think this is Gwyneth Elcock here for Pleasant Grove. Far side. Step into the middle and saved. Tristy Souza once again.
You know, Rebecca Barge is dearly missed as she graduated this last season from the Sentinels, but this goalie that's, you know, stepped up and taken in her shoes have done an amazing job out here today.
Suze in the shoes. Suze has been spectacular. Here's Shaw. Man, this game has flown by. 6:45 to go. Worked in front. Oh, nice move there.
Save.
That bounce shot saved away there by Floyd. PG trying to push this up quickly. We'll keep going. That was Quina handing off. Boy, I wondered if they would attack there before that Mountain Ridge defense could get set up.
Yeah. Got to go smart. Cross. Oh, in the sphere. Looks like she's going to get an 8-meter opportunity.
And this will be Berg again. So Eliza Berg, she had the 3 goals against Harriman. Has had a couple shots today. PG still looking for their first goal of the game.
Yeah, looks like she's going second inside.
Yeah, just offset. Eliza, run up, shot,
and goal.
Eliza Berg able to go over the shoulder and score the first of the game for Berg and for the Vikings.
Beautifully done. You know, it was a beautiful shot right over the goalie's left shoulder. Very well controlled as she crashed in to cage, and you know there was definitely some heart and passion in that shot. She's been driving for it all game, and you know she's obviously very excited about finally catching the back of that net.
I mean, it's got to feel good to finally beat Sousa, right?
Yeah,
because again, it's not like they've peppered with 20 shots, but they've had good looks. That's like her third or fourth of the game. Finally be able to get it past the goalie always feels good.
Exactly.
So back to the draw here. 5.5 to go. And it's gathered there by Mountain Ridge. Mortensen.
Nice.
Right in front. And Floyd.
Did that make it? It made it in.
Oh, my goodness.
I think she got a piece of it and then it rolled in.
I think everybody lost track. There was like no celebration in the stands at all.
Oh, yeah. Like, everyone's like, did that go in?
Yeah,
exactly. I think the ref even hesitated for a second, like, did that go? Yeah.
I'm trying to see the number of who scored it. Was that Tessa?
I don't think it was Tess. It could have been. 17. Yeah, 17.
It was.
Tessa Mortensen.
So there's the third for Tessa. Hat trick for Mortensen. Push that lead back to 9 here for Mountain Ridge. Another draw here.
Oh, taken away by PG.
Good alertness there. They've done that kind of pitch ahead, right? And usually Mountain Ridge has been able to be the victors off of that. Schultz attuned to it, but they can't take advantage. Here comes Mortensen again. PG racing back defensively. Played over with Fabert. Working away from what looked to be a potential screen there by Chalk. A little bit of deception there. Here's Taya. Boy, wanted that handoff to Fabert. PG able to intercept, and Mountain Ridge taking it right back. Anderson stepping through, right in front in the goal. Annalise Anderson with another goal here for Mountain Ridge. That's her second of the game, and it's a 10-point difference.
Anderson.
And, of course, with a 10-goal difference, now a running clock. We're a few seconds behind. We'll get that queued up for you here. Again, just so it's more in sync with our official game clock. 3:20 to go here. Been a
nice
big night here for Mountain Ridge. And how about Anderson that time to draw to herself?
I mean, her height definitely took advantage there, but the full extension of her stick, all connecting as one, beautifully done for that self-draw.
Chalk working over here with Faber. Looking to attack, saw the space right in front.
Nice.
And that is a goal. The first of the game for the sophomore, Brielle Faber, able to score it.
I think something that needs to be recognized a lot about Mountain Ridge's attacking end is that they have taken the moments of seeing the open space, but also their change of speed. Like, that's really what's getting the defense to hesitate. You know, as they slow down, defense slows down, hopefully catches them on their heel, and they take off once more. And we've seen a lot of that change of speed, a little bit of change of direction, getting those opportunities to get the ball in the back of the net.
That's been a tough element for PG to defend tonight, right? Because it's not just vertical speed, which they have, but change of direction has been a real differentiator for Mountain Ridge tonight. And it's certainly been an impressive night for them. Again, I think this is what a lot of people expected to see from this Mountain Ridge squad. And look, it won't get easier because they get to take on Olympus, which will be a great test. That will be their next match. And another opportunity for them to go up against the best. They knew that they wanted to really stretch themselves in the non-region schedule. They are doing just that here in the early part of the 23 season.
Yeah, defense right there took a great opportunity, stretched a little bit, got a little bit of a tip-off on that shot, but Centennials were able to gather it back up behind cage as they have possession here now.
Worked with Claren, scored back in the first half.
1 minute left.
That pass deflected by Berg. Mountain Ridge back on it. Kinsey, when you look at the early landscape of 6A, is another goal there. This scored from is Mountain Ridge, in your mind, are they still maybe the favorite in 6A? Would you put them top 3, top 5, top 10? Where do you think they fit?
With not seeing all the teams playing so far, I would say at least top 5 for sure. I think they have a lot of talent. I think it's well spread. I think they have a lot of unity. I think they have great coaches. Just, so early in the season, it's hard to say exactly where all the teams will be sitting.
Sure. 13-1, PG able to possess off that draw. They might have one last opportunity here if they can push it up. Looked in front, that pass couldn't be handled. The countdown on here by the Mountain Ridge students. The Sentinels setting it up, and the Mountain Ridge Sentinels get their first win of the season, 13-1. Past Pleasant Grove. Kenzie, your final thoughts and a selection of our player of the game.
I think this is a really well-played game. I think there was a lot of growth for PG throughout. That goalie just laid it out there. I think she did amazing. I'm spacing her name. Floyd,
yep.
Floyd played amazing. She had amazing saves, regardless of the goal she let in. The ones that she saved, she really needs to take appreciation of and really capitalize and be proud of those moments. Mountain Ridge all throughout, there was so many great players. Annalise on the draw, directing it over to Tessa. Tessa gathering it right off circle was a beautiful moment several times. So it's hard to choose just one, but just from my perspective, I think I would put Tessa with her hat trick, with her beautiful takeaways on circle, and just a well-played game overall.
Very well played game overall, as Tessa Mortensen, our player of the game, had 3 goals to lead the way for Mountain Ridge. 13-1, the Sentinels defeat Pleasant Grove. For Vince Francis, Kinsey Christiansen, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us, and follow KSL Sports the rest of the year. We're going to have the best lacrosse games coming up for you live right here on both the boys and girls side, as we'll take you all the way to state championships in May. Mountain Ridge 13-1 over Pleasant Grove. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time here for KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week.